Morning, everybody. Mike Niemiec here with some early morning grain and oilseed comments for Friday, September 20th. Overnight trade on the defensive. The wheat market down around 3 cents, the corn down a penny, the beans down 15 cents, the meal market down around $3, and the soybean oil on the defensive in the neighborhood of around 20-25 points lower. The overnight weakness is being led by the beans and the meal, and I think that's what is the importance of this past week. We had a lot of things that came on now. We had our exports, we had our FSA numbers, we've had the weather, we had the yield talk. But a week ago at this point in time, the beans and the meal were on a pinnacle versus the corn, wheat, and soybean oil. And throughout the whole week, that whole trade seemingly has been given to the wayside, where the beans and the meal are leading to the downside versus the corn, wheat, and soybean oil. So I think what we're really getting into here is a liquidation type phase of a trend that has been very, very popular for many, many weeks. Once again, the beans and the meal versus the other commodities. And with the upcoming index roll for the November beans in another week, week and a half to 2 weeks, I think the trade is starting to move to the sidelines in that position, and thus the weakness in the markets in the overnight trade. Once again, there's other external factors. We are going to have Informa coming out later on this morning with some updated small grain production numbers, that meaning for the wheat. They're also going to be looking at acreage numbers for this year and for the coming year. We're going to have the commitment of trade report coming out after the close, and once again, that'll be reflective of what we were just talking about, where the commitment of trade report shows where the managed money has been long the beans and the meal versus the other commodities. We're going to have a cattle on feed report coming out after the close also, and that's going to be reflective of smaller cattle on feed and placements versus a year ago, which once again represents somewhat of a twardy feeding situation that's ongoing here in the U.S. Today's also option expiration for the October contracts. And once again, the weather is still non-threatening and or minimal as far as threats go for harvesting our corn and beans as we work our way ahead through this harvest period. So all in all, it still remains somewhat of a non-bullish environment. Once again, led down by this morning's weakness in the beans and the meal. But once again, I think that this is more or less unwinding of a position that's been very popular for many, many weeks. Once again, these are my opinions, not that of ADM or ADMIS. Thank you.